Welcome back to the show, everybody. Bang! I ain't mean to shoot at you. I ain't mean to bust shots at you, but yo, the Sega Genesis Mini is back in the news again because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's where the song should stop. But then I remember on Sega doing 11, 12. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, we're not. Song interlude aside. We got 10 new games for the Sega Mega Drive, Genesis Mini, whatever the hell you want to call it. But technically, that's a wavy equal line when it comes to the Sega Mega Drive Japanese version, as you'll see. Because not only do we have a trailer to look at for the latest 10 games on the Sega Mega Drive Mini in Japan, but we also got 3 websites to look at and a couple of games to discuss about why they're there. Because there are 2 games in particular that the internet does not understand why they exist on this collection, but Uncle Triple got you. So don't worry about that. So, super duper motherfucking magic box. Where you at, baby? Super duper motherfucking magic box. You know what it is. So, we gonna take care of some business real quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get everything in order. You know, I'm gonna get everything in order. I'm gonna get this over here. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm gonna make this small adjustment. Just like this. So, we're going to take a look at the latest trailer for the Japanese version of the Sega Mega Drive Mini so we can see the next 10 games up for that version. And then we're going to take a look at the websites and see what these games are and try to correlate some information to try to find out where we're going at. Because I've had some time to sit and take a look at this, and I think I can tell you maybe 1 or 2 games that I know are coming. If some games that have been already announced are, but then that's more about that history of Sega and them producing and publishing games and stuff. But don't worry about that. So, with all that being said, now activating the Sega Mega Drive Mini Japanese police version trailer .e e. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, you want to smoke one of the best in the business, Thunder Force 3, made by your family at Technosoft. Super Fantasy Zone. Like, there's Fantasy Zone, there's this, but there are better ways to play Fantasy Zone. We're going to talk about this in a minute. One of the best games on the Sega Genesis, hands down. Pay attention to this. More about this later. Do I have to say something about this game? I won't, but could. The hybrid front, man. I'm like, this is a great a great tactical tactical RPG. Oh man, ooh, Landstalker, yes. You know what I'm saying? Yes, yeah. I told y'all this was coming. You didn't believe, but this is what I wish for. This is exactly what it is, and we will talk about Dino Brothers 2 no more, except when we need to. Yeah, this is that thing I was technically talking about when we were doing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 joke. So, we're going to put this all together. Don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. I got you. It's still stupid that we only get 3 button controllers. I think that's kind of dumb. But hey, I'm not going to get in the middle of that. So, all that being said, let me do some things real quick. Let me set up, because I got to bring your friend and mine in the building. I got to bring your friends and mine up. So, if y'all ready, I'm ready. Google Maps, Chrome, where you at, baby? Google Chrome. Okay, so. This right here is what's coming to the America KKK. We have both of the Illusion games for the Sega Genesis. We got Thunder Force 3, we have Super Fantasy Zone, Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master, Streets of Rage 2, Earthworm Jim, Sonic 2, Contra Hardcore, and Landstalker. So, we don't get the hybrid front. We don't get Game no Kazume Otokoyu, because we're going to talk about that in a minute. But it's mostly the same for the European version. For some reason, because things are things, they still get Probotector. I don't quite get that. I don't think we are in a world anymore where Europe doesn't care about killing human beings. or nunchaku that have to be erased out of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm just like, whatever. But this is what it is. So, Castle of Illusion and World of Illusion are two of the games that have been announced that I would like to correct the internet on. This is not a thing where you're all of a sudden going to start seeing Aladdin on here and you're going to start seeing other Disney games that have appeared on the Sega Genesis system. These are games that were developed in-house by Sega themselves, which is why they are featured on here. So, here's the thing. If you got Castle of Illusion, automatically you're going to get Quackshot. Quackshot will be down there next time they announce some games, because why would they have both Castle of Illusion games and not have Quackshot? That game is the crack. So, I don't understand or see why that game would make it. When it comes to Thunder Force 3, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, given that Thunder Force 4 is getting the wonderful treatment right now on the Switch, that you would want to focus on Thunder Force 3, which most people believe is the better game. I'm like, my thing when it comes to Thunder Force 3 and 4, I kind of see those games as a draw, is that both of those games bring something special to the table, and also with Thunder Force AC, the three of those games are like a trifecta of shmup goodness. So it's like choosing between your favorite something. Like you like what they both offer, but you don't want to be the hard ass to make a decision about which one you like more. So you love them both equally. Super Fantasy Zone is here. I'm like, if you're gonna play a version of Fantasy Zone on a Mega Drive Mini thingy or a Sega Genesis Mini, Super Fantasy Zone is probably your best bet, to be honest. And here's the truth: you have better ways. And I mean better ways to play Fantasy Zone. That's just the truth of what it is. But it's good to see that this version is available over here for anyone who wants to experience a wonderful shmup like Fantasy Zone. Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master. I really hope that within these 20 games, the Revenge of Shinobi is somewhere. Look, I've said this, I can't count how many times I've gotten on this channel, looked at a camera, or said on a video that Shinobi 3 is the better Shinobi game, but I love Revenge of Shinobi more because of its influence in my life. So, the better game is here. The better game is represented for this series right here. Shadow Dancer would be lovely if they really wanted to try to fill this with things that, if they can't get things, that Shadow Dancer would be perfect. Need the Revenge of Shinobi though. I really wish Revenge of Shinobi would have got the 3D treatment. That game would have looked wonderful, because I'm like, let's just put it this way. One of the reasons why I take the Revenge of Shinobi over Shinobi 3 is because Yuzo Toshiro like committed murder on them tracks on the Revenge of Shinobi. Not saying that Shinobi 3's OST is like some dog garbage, but it's just something about the way the Revenge of Shinobi sounds. It's just wonderful. Shinobi 3 got its own flavor and I love it, but it's just something about the Revenge of Shinobi and that OST that always give me, because it sounds so good. Shout out to Shinobi Reverse from Streets of Rage 3. And using that as a segue, Streets of Rage 2. Am I the person on the internet you want to talk about this video game? Oh wait, I spent 6 years talking about this video game series, and we're still currently working through it now by playing mini hacks and better versions of the game that exists. So do I really need to say anything about this? No, so I won't do that. Earthworm Jim, if you are going to choose your third party game, I'm like, Earthworm Jim is a decent pick. This game was ultimately done better on 32-bit systems and things like that, but it's just something about Earthworm Jim, you know what I'm saying, that I appreciate that they reached out, you know what I'm saying, and want to get this as a part of a collection, a way to represent, you know what I'm saying. So it's like, because I was thinking about that, because let's scroll up, because I just want to just remind you this game. I was just thinking about it. I was like, yeah, that game right there, Comic Zone. Just want to say things about it, and just to remind you of what's on it. Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania. Well, actually, just to go back to the Sega Mega Drive, let's go back to Sega Genesis Mini so we can highlight these games really quickly. Just in case you missed the last video, Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodline, Space Harrier 2, way better than Space Harrier 1, the original Shining Force, a technical replacement for a game on the Japanese version, the Mean Bean Machine, Toe Jam and Earl, because, yay, Comic Zone, Sonic 1, Altered Beast, and Gunstar Hero. So, we doing work. Alien Soldier win, bruh. Just putting it out there. Okay. Do you really need to say something about this game? Probably not. Probably not at all. The question is, will Sonic 3 and Knuckles make it? That's the question you really got to ask, because there have been the arguments of years for, Michael Jackson and music and water. Sorry. Oh, excuse me. So sorry. Man, y'all know I love me some water, boy. That keep me from drinking all that, eating that ass soda and Kool-Aid that I love, but too much sugar. Water, just pure water. So, real talk, water break aside, that's the question we're looking at here. Sonic 3 and Knuckles, because given all the love that Sonic 1 and 2 get, that Sonic 3 never quite gets, it's weird, because, again, given where the classic Sonic games are in the evolution of how they exist, it's like you would really want real ports of the mobile games of Sonic 1 and 2. And the 3 that they were working on, which probably was a version of Sonic 3 Complete, which is probably the best way to play Sonic 3 at this juncture at any point at any time. I'm like, I'll say this because it's on my mind. When the Sonic games did get that love of being all released at the same time, especially last generation on the 360 and things like that emulation weren't quite up to snuff. And I'm like, I wish M2 would have hopped in the game then, but we get what we get. So it's going to be an interesting thing to really see if Sonic 3 and Knuckles actually makes this. Or if they sit up here and be like, well, we'll just put Sonic 3D Blast on her instead, or Sonic Spinball or something. But this thing will be hacked and you better put whatever the hell you want on her anyway. So it is what it is. We're going back to the Sega Genesis Mini for a minute because I don't know what a Probotector is. I don't know. I've never heard of a Probotector in my life long. I have heard of Contra Hardcore, or Contra the Hardcore, as we're going to take a look at the Sega Mega Drive Mini for the Japanese version in a minute. Contra Hardcore is a tie for the best Contra game with Contra 3D Alien Wars and Contra Saturn Soldier. And that's saying a lot. With number 2 being this game Creeper and Hardcore Uprising. That's a lot. Because it's like, for real, like, I could get into all day of ranking Contra games. It's like a whole bunch of them are number 1, and then it's like number 2 is filled with what? The NES version of Grazor, because that's probably the only way you should ever actually play Contra. Super C, and like, yeah, that's probably the number 2 list. Oh, actually, there is a third on that number 2 list. That game is called Contra Rebirth. That game is more better than it has any business being, but it's a great Contra game. So you get what you get. And then the rest of the Contra games flow in there. And just a reminder, Contra Force is not actually a Contra game. Just reminding you of that. This is Probotector. I got some news for the streets, just in case you want to know. There is a hack for Contra Hardcore that is probably the best way to experience Contra Hardcore in the year 2019. That not only has all of the Contra Hardcore characters, but also adds the Probotector characters in there and gives you everything the Japanese version has, which is the ultimate mishmash. So, if I remember this, I will leave the link in the description, so you'll have to go dump your own ROM and patch it and do whatever the hell. But if you're going to experience Contra Hardcore at this juncture, that's probably the way you want to do it. Oh, this is Landstalker. Actually, Sega Legend of Zelda, maybe. But there are a couple of those on this system, and Landstalker is one of them. Landstalker is a great RPG for what it does, and I'm glad to see it on this side of things, because if you're really going to fill in those blanks, you could do a lot worse. Because you want to know the random game I thought of that could replace a game like Landstalker, and people will probably be pissed. Green Dog! It's a game about a surfer dude, and it's not that good. The Tap Attack would be wonderful, just putting it out there, just pushing it out there. But Landstalker is a great game. You should really give it a shot. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you're looking for your technical Legend of Zelda kind of thing on the Sega Genesis, there are a couple, but Landstalker is one of them, and it stands up as a pretty good game in and of itself. So it is what it is with that. So, see, this is when we get into sad times. Because we taking a look at this. Why in the hell we don't get this? This is one of the best shmups in the business ever. And we are talking about, in the history of shmups, Musha Less is probably one of the best in the business in general, period. Why we don't get Musha on the American and European versions of this, I don't know. I don't get it, but you do what you can. This is Bare Knuckle 2. This is the hybrid front. As a tactical RPG, it's a good tactical RPG. I've played it once. Long before this was ever announced, years ago, when you did a thing like download every Sega Genesis ROM in history and had nothing but time. What the hell is this hybrid front? Oh. It stands up still as a pretty good tactical RPG. So if you are into things like that, the hybrid front may have something for you. Just putting it out there. Oh no, I've scrolled to the bottom of the screen. You've seen these video games before. I've lost control of this video now. Side bitch. This is Dino Brothers 2, the Sega Channel Special version. This is another tactical RPG. As in, move units. And things happen. Describing to you what Dino Brothers 2 is would do it no justice. Literally would do the game no justice, because it is the game of the genre in which it's in, but because it is this game in the genre which it's in, it does things with that genre because of what it presents itself to be, which is something that literally needs to be experienced by you, the person. So, I will leave you to discover that by you, the person. So, you go do that. Just please, just trust me. Give it 15 minutes. Just experience what it is to say you did. And tell Michael Triple sent you. This is Super Fantasy Zone. This is Thunder Force 3. We've discussed these things already. Yeah, this is the better box art. This is totally the better box art, bro. Look at Sheeta. Look at them thighs, dog. That's not really why it's the best. Look at Fang with that gun on, dog. Let's rock. Man, please don't get me started on Contra Hardcore. Please don't do that. Contra Hardcore is probably a top 20 because see, there are games in my top 10, and I really think that if I did some shuffling on a good day, it would crack that top 10 because Contra Hardcore is probably one of the best experiences I ever had once I played the Japanese version, which is a lot more fair than the version where you die on the first level repeatedly or, hey bruh, get good because you suck because we don't want you running our video game, you shameless American. That hurts. Not really, but don't worry about it. This is Game no Kazumi Otokogyu. Remember the joke from earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is in reference to this joke. This is Sega Retro. Shout out to Sega Retro for bringing you everything you need. So, I will read this blurb to you just so we can read it. Game no Kazume Otokyo is a compilation of the Sega game Toshikan game released for the Sega Mega Drive, a digest version of the Mega CD collection of Game no Kazume Volume 1 and Volume 2. It was released exclusively through the Japanese Sega channel and at some point in time, and at some unknown time, and the current ROM we know of was presumably found on the disc for Dream Passport 2, which came with access to a Dream library of on-disc games which could access to be purchased online. So thank you, crackers of Dreamcast games, for bringing you this crack. Now, this is everything you get. 16-ton flicky, putter golf, hyper marbles, Shino Mekyu, O Metal City, Paddle Fire, Ikazuze Koido Doki Doki Penguin Land, Mega Drive, Pyramid Magic, Robot Battler, Telly Boy Blues, and Award. Now, I am familiar with some of these games. Of course I'm familiar with Flicky, you all should be. I am limitedly familiar with 16-ton, because 16-ton, I can't quite describe it. It's like my understanding of the plot from when I read it is some dude gets sucked into his own video game and is there to squash his own bugs. So I think that's kind of dope. And Teddy Boy Blues is another game that I'm familiar with because of videos I've watched. It's about a song made by a Japanese pop singer in the late 80s, and you go around collecting stuff, and then there are bonus games or something. So yeah, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I didn't even count these. Oh man, I'm the greatest because one more time for the hood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh man, I'm a genius. I didn't even count these. I just knew we were just gonna take a look at so I can show you what was in this collection. But yeah, if you really want to take a look at the other games that are in the collection on the Mega CD version, feel free to check out Game on Kazume Volume 1 and Volume 2. Should. I'm going to. I never have, but having this information in front of me, I definitely will. Oh, and we talked about this game. It's just the Japanese version of World of Illusion. The second game in the Illusion series. So, I'm going to bring it back to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There you go. Bling, bling. Alright, so, I'm going to do here. I'm going to minimize that, and I'm going to... Actually, I'm going to close this. Close that, and I am going to bring it back to moi. So, children, what have we learned here today? You should play Contra Hardcore. I'm going to put that link in the description for that updated version of Contra Hardcore. Get that, probably the best way to experience Contra Hardcore ever. One of these days, Hardcore Uprising will be backwards compatible on the Xbox One. That's the only thing that is stopping me, because here's a story that's probably going to be told again. Me and Jock King were trying to go for all the online achievements. We got to the final boss and the game froze. Collected everything in the day, did everything. We got to the final boss, game froze. Lost all that progress. That was a very angry day. I threw things. And I'm not a thrower of stuff. That game is stupid. But I'm gonna sit up for this part though. If you looking for a good shoot 'em up, if you looking for a good running gun from the last generation, Hardcore Uprising is the business. And I am surprised that it's not been re-released on anything, or they never gave R6 the opportunity to make a sequel, because there was a lot there, given that it was a prequel to Contra Hardcore. So just putting it out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, play some Contra, because we are going to be talking about that, I think, later in the show today, because the first batch of the Konami Anniversary Collection dropped, and it was a trailer, so we'll take a look at that, try to figure out those games. And actually, we also know the rest of the Castlevania lineup, so we'll be taking a look at all of that in the thing, and we'll see what's for Contra when it's for Contra. But regardless of that, we've got more show for you. And you, them, and bang, they. Look, if you weren't convinced and you were on the fence, you got 20 games to think about now. I know some people in the streets like, yo, Analog SG Mini, that thing been hacked to Kingdom Come, because, you know, that's just what we do. Buying things and then enhancing what it is that you buy. Like internet staple. I didn't do that. But regardless, for real, yo, we got more show for you. Plenty of. We got some more trailers to watch. We got some things to catch up on. And I am mostly through this backlog of things we need to do. So if I get through these things, I can do the thing that I should have done and the thing I was supposed to do years ago. Spoilers, I guess. But look, we got more show for you. So please, sit back, relax, and stay tuned. You know I'm the one on triple G.O.D, a.k.a. Mr. CRACKCOCAINE, Entertainment's #1 dope, man. Got the whole squadron running with the congregation in the building, Squish Murder in the crew. Bessie always on special assignment, and Janine Pern to bring this off to you. So, more show for all of you. Bang! Right after these commercial messages. Seriously, Quackshot win. Seriously, Quackshot win, dog. Like, yo, like, I appreciate that game. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, real talk. Quackshot win. You know what I'm saying? For real talk. Revenge of Shinobi win, dog. Holla at your boy. Real talk for a game I just thought about that may just make this collection. Mega Man The Wily Wars. Why do I have a feeling that given what this might be, that two Capcom games that I think that are gonna make it is Mega Man: The Wily Wars and Street Fighter 2 Special Championship Edition. I said Street Fighter 2 Special Champion Edition last time, but given that I saw Dino Brothers and how much they like Sega Channel games, I really think that will probably be a working version of Mega Man: The Wily Wars, because the internet recently got that working a couple of years ago properly. It's a long story. That something about SRAM and how it didn't work, and people had to make patches, and how you can make Mega Man Slide and Mega Man 1, and how that kind of sort of breaks it, but it makes it a fun game. Playing Mega Man with a slide is pretty kind of dope. You should try it. Something Road Chat Blog coming soon right here to Team JRF TV. Look, get out of here. More show for you right after these commercial messages. Seriously, more show after these commercial messages.